good bags which are used for shopping and other stuff, and they were all biodegradable, made from potato skin. And there were so many other things on 3D printers, and the VN, you can walk into different newly offered projects in architecture and in other areas, and so many things were going on. I also came across a business idea in which you can just use your cell phone to verify whether the currency bills are genuine or fake. So it could be determined. So much was going on, and I'm sure so much is going on at LUMS as well. Pakistan is blessed with the demographic dividend of youth. The high percentage of youth is a great asset for country. When we look across the world, there's so many countries which have negative population growth rate. In fact, I had listened to a world-class demographic expert in Miami back in 2014 when he established with his research, and he said there's not a single example in the world where population growth rate is not inversely proportional to the economic growth. And he established that, made certain classic examples, and also compared Taiwan and China, that despite China's one-child policy back then, the population growth rate was greater as compared to Taiwan, which had higher per capita GDP. But anyhow, so it really depends. We keep on trying to convince people to have less children, but at the same time, it is the economy, it turns out. And when I saw the results of the census in Pakistan, it clearly demonstrated that. We had two censuses, one recently and one was done in perhaps 2016-17. And both the censuses tell us that highest population growth took place in Balochistan, followed by Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. Then Sindh had a population growth rate of average population growth rate, and Punjab had the lowest population growth rate. So that exactly correlated with the per capita GDP of all the four provinces. And within Punjab, we saw that population growth rate was highest in South Punjab, which has had the minimum economic growth. So that also verifies that. So anyhow, I was talking about the youth dividend Pakistan has, and its responsibility of everyone, including the youth itself, and from the parents to the society, and especially the governments and all the good institutions. They must play their role to educate and train our youth well. Education and training go hand in hand. It's the character building which is very important for the success of anyone we talk about. Whenever we go into a corporate culture, go into any business, whether in corporate culture or a very small business or in anywhere or whatever we do, if a boss would want his second person or whoever is promoted or put at helm of affairs is required to be honest, is required to be truthful, is required to not only have the right competency and skills and knowledge, but at the same time also to be a fair person. So it is very important to develop character traits and develop that. Entrepreneurship and innovation are cornerstones of a thriving economy. Startups are absolutely of great importance. New businesses must be developed, must be given ways, and must be taught. Whenever a person who has a great idea comes out, or a group of persons who come out, and when they want to establish a business, they face so many hurdles if they go without any help into the market. So these incubation centers give them the right mindset and tells them about, educates them about the difficulties or the requirements of setting up businesses and how to put their ideas into practice. So it is much needed. Innovative ideas are necessary for any economy. We must keep on thinking. We must keep on deliberating. Tadabbur and tafakkur the thought process and the deliberations and the thinking process must be part of our lives, and it must go on. Use of technology is a must. In today's world, where we're seeing the fourth industrial revolution taking place. If we talk about two main aspects of fourth industrial revolution, it has to be use of technology and the collaboration. And collaboration in a society, we have to coexist. In a pluralistic society, we have to accept each other as it is, and we are interdependent. As Professor Zafar was just saying, that in the incubation centers, the prospective clients are sitting there and the prospective providers are sitting there, because no business can thrive alone. We need other people, we need to collaborate, we need to outsource our inputs, and then we need to market it and have others use it. And we need to provide solutions our solutions could be the requirements of the other companies as well. So it is all about collaboration, it's all about coordination, it's all about teamwork, it's all about working together. And I'm glad these centers are doing a marvelous job in Pakistan when they are working and providing this platform. And I must thank US Mission for providing the ways and means of making this better and making and this program is going to be in many other universities and programs in Punjab. So these centers, as I was just being told by Abdul Razak Daud Saab, that how Punjab government helped develop this business or this engineering school, and how federal and provincial governments have contributed to LUMS in so many other ways. I'm also glad I was part of federal cabinet from 2013 to 18, and I was at helm of affairs for federal education ministry, and it was our responsibility to especially we were more focused on all public sector universities in that country. So I'm really glad that from 2013 to 18, we were able to increase the funding, which would go through a very rigorous and well-established criteria, through a merit-based criteria to all the public sector universities across Pakistan. And there are 2 grants which come out of Higher Education Commission, and those are recurring grants and the development grants. So those were increased not only in absolute terms, but in terms of percentage, they were the highest for any tenure in Pakistan. But at the same time, in different tenures, different governments worked and contributed for the betterment of education. And it's their responsibility, it's not a favor or anything extraordinary. Every government has shortcomings, but when we develop the habit of critical and analytical thinking capabilities, and we develop the habit of looking at both aspects of whatever is being said, it is important to compare things. If we care about transparency and if we want corruption to go away, we must also see what are the perceptions of each government and how they have been doing. When we talk about education, we must also see that how much each different governments contributed in terms of education. So money has to be put where our mouth is. If we keep on saying that education is the most important thing, and when we come to power and we cut the funding towards education, that wouldn't speak good about that. But we must compare before making and coming to conclusions. And I'm thankful to all governments who have been contributing to LUMS and to education and to public sector. I'm glad this very incubation center was established in perhaps 2014-15 or around that time. That was the time when I was in federal government's cabinet, and it's a collective responsibility. So I can take the credit as well, and I'm so glad it's doing so well. Alhamdulillah. Anyhow, so NICL's main purpose is to provide guidance, resources, and opportunities, and BICs are the breeding ground for next generation of entrepreneurs and innovators. So I wish all of you well, and I believe that we must keep on working together, and we must keep on educating and training our youth right. And when it comes to youth, it comes to the greatest asset Pakistan has, which can be relevant not only for Pakistan's development, but Pakistani youth are playing and can play an important role in the world's development. So we have to have positive character, we have to have a caring attitude, and we must all care for each other, and we must all care for humanity. We have to be politically correct. That was a term that was being extensively used in the 90s in the United States, and still it is very relevant when we call a disabled person a special person or a differently abled person. We are politically correct. So we have to see that how things are said and how do we express ourselves, and how do we, so we have to be respectful to our parents and elders and teachers. At the same time, we have the right to question whatever they're saying, and then we have the right to verify what is being told and what is said. Not only is it our right, but also our responsibility to actually verify things before believing. And it is very important in today's world of social media, when we see false information and lies coming all together, whether it is about the religious information or a political information, or it is about research. All the time we come across things which are not correct on social media. And it's painful to see when we, the so-called educated people, keep on forwarding these things without any verification whatsoever. So we must try to look into that aspect as well. I was saying that as humans, we are all connected. In a society, we are all connected. In today's world, every morning when we look at the newspaper or we look at the TV, it really is painful to see the killings of civilians in Gaza Strip in Palestine. And I believe that as humanity, as humans, it's not about religion. It's not about, as humans, we are all connected. So just the way, like whenever an earthquake comes or any disaster comes, all the people of the world, they must come together to help that humanity. And in Pakistan, we see the good spirits for philanthropy. In private sector, we have seen great work done in philanthropy, but at the same time, in Palestine, it's painful to see the civilians were not in war. And it must go for any other country as well. Civilians, no matter where they are, they must be protected. They must not be attacked. But one wrong doesn't give an excuse for, two wrongs don't make a right. And if someone kills a civilian, doesn't mean that all the civilians are being killed by others as well. So it is very important that all the countries must come together and must play a role to end the brutality and the tyranny and the killings of civilians, especially women, and I mean all the civilians, but including women. And it's really painful to see the deaths of young children which is taking place. Anyhow, with that sad note, I again appreciate the good work which is being done, and I appreciate all who have contributed, all the governments, provincial and federal, and in different eras, in different political parties, they worked, and I must encourage the good work continue. And this is really good hope, the incubation centers and the synergies which come together when forces join together to promote this good work. Thank you very much. Thank you all of you. Pakistan Zindabad.